Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your coverage of Star Series 3, a $15,000 land tournament located in Kiev in the land of the Ukraine. My name is Toshley and I will be your commentator for the games we have coming up here for you today, and we will be jumping into game number 1 of the best of 2 in the group stages of Star Series 3. The Good Bears going up against Moscow 5. The Good Bears, of course, hailing from Germany. Technically, they're former Mouse Sports team, but they've been sponsored by the Good Studio to be renamed to the Good Bears team. Of course, Mouse Sports weren't willing to fund their trip to Star Series 3 to Kiev, so the Good Studio decided to do so. It's a one-off thing, though. They won't be doing this for every single tournament, just this one. Sort of their final tournament to play in, as it were. And they will be fighting it out against Moscow 5, well-known, well-respected team from within the scene of Dota 2, hailing from the land of Russia. In case you couldn't figure it out by their name, it is somewhat obvious. Also, this is a best of 2. If you're thinking, how does a best of 2 work? You just play 2 games. You don't really have a victor in the game. It's just how many wins and how many losses determines placement in, further on in the tournament. On the side of the Good Bears, on the Radiant side of the field, we see Captain Kurikai following up with Black, Sing Sing, Alex, and Bambo. And over on the side of Moscow 5, we see Captain Solo following it up with Nexus, Dread, Sedoy, and Stilyana. Not Selena, Toby, you piece of shit. But enough of that. Jumping straight into the draft, we can see Nagasiren being removed out by the Good Bears, following it up with Rubik, Moscow 5 responding to that with a Darkseer, and as to who the next one will be, we will have to wait and see. Of course, the 6.75 changes are in effect, so the metagame's very different. It's more about killing than it is about taking on towers. Towers are still good because it's gold and map control, but killing is also really good, and a lot of heroes have been buffed, a lot of heroes has been nerfed, so who gets picked, who gets banned, it's all very different. We can already see that being in effect. Well, Rubik, Nagasiren, and Darkseer are fairly standard. Dirge is certainly not all that standard, a hero that's hasn't really even seen play before the 6.75 changes, but now is an incredibly popular choice because he works so well with a ganking lineup. Those zombies cause absolute pandemonium, they slow down heroes that are trying to escape, they simply make life difficult for the opposing team. The first pickup for the team of the Good Bears going to go straight for Lanai, with Moscow 5 responding to that with Chen and Leshrak. Fairly standard heroes coming out of then. Well, coming out of both sides, really. All 3 of those heroes are fantastic. Chen has had a little bit of a nerf, which makes he's not quite as good. The Holy Persuasion, now it's just for controlling creeps. You can't use it to send people back to base. The ability to send people back to base is Test of Faith, which is tied into this skill, which means it uses a lot of mana. Excuse me, so 1, you aren't getting a reduced time in sending someone back to base with the Test of Faith. I mean, because you would level Holy Persuasion first. Now you got to choose, do I want those extra creeps early on? Do I want the ability to send people back to base early on? And here we have the effect of the 6.75 patches being shown up just a little bit right here. Batrider and Jakiro, 2 heroes that typically never see play in the world of Dota 2 scene. They've been buffed, they've been changed, they're a lot better than they were before. And they've got a nice lineup coming out for them today. They've got good ganking. I guess they've got reasonable push, but what matters is a ganking power. We've got a fantastic mid hero, and Jakiro and Batrider, we've got the Lasso, which is a fantastic ability. And then we have the Ice Path, which is borderline OP in my opinion. It's cost 75 mana, and it's akin to Invoker's Ice Wall, except it stuns instead. And it also has like a 15-second cooldown or something. 9-second at max rank. It's ridiculous. Silly Bear to be the 3rd hero to be secured up by the team of Moscow 5. They're definitely going for full-on push here. They're not really mitigating their metagame, they're just going for push. Lone Druid's going to be pushing, Leshrak is going to be pushing with that Edict, and then we have Chen who will bolster and reinforce creep waves with the use of Holy Persuasion, and which can, of course, persuade creeps to go on your side. Not really persuasion, it's more like slavery. Persuasion implies that it has a chance to fail, essentially, but in this case, not at all. Venomancer is to be a hero removed out by the Good Studio. They don't want to give them any 50% slows at the start of the game. Queen of Pain to be taken out. We're focusing on those solo mids as of this moment, and they take out the Enchantress on the side of Moscow 5 and the Wisp. Wisp is no doubt a good hero. With the team of Mouse Sports pick that up for themselves? Who knows? I really want to call them Mouse Sports, but I know they're not Mouse Sports. They're the Good Bear team. The Good Bears. Tidehunter to be the 5th hero removed out by them, and Moscow 5. How will they respond? What hero do they simply not want to deal with? Enigma. Radiant team pick. Enigma is a 100% understandable ban. Black Hole plus a Macro Pie to come out of the Jakiro. That is a significant amount of damage. And that's a lot of damage. Let's just keep it at that. The bands have been completed. We're jumping straight into the final set of the picks. Who do the good bears want to add to their composition? We need a... we don't need, but we are currently lacking in a carry of some sort. Templar Assassin can semi-carry, I would say, but wouldn't call her a hard carry.
5 seconds remaining.
And what will our 5th hero be as well? Looking at the lanes, Lanaya, I'm going to guess, will be going solo mid. As to where the others will go, we'll have to wait and see. Team of Moscow 5, we'll see Lone Druid taking the solo lane, with Chen being in the jungle. As to the placement of Leshrac, it all depends on the heroes that they select in the next few moments of time. The good bears. We got 1 minute of reserve time, so Kurikai can take as long as he wants. Is it Kurikai or Kuriki? Kurikai sounds really Australian. Like Kurikai is a place in Australia. So, and it's not spelled like that, I don't think. No, it's pretty sure not. Kuriki sounds more accurate. But it doesn't sound as satisfying to say Kurikai. Kurikai, it sounds great. And they're going for a tiny, so maybe Wisp was a wise hero for the team of Moscow 5 to remove out from the fray, because he would have been a no doubt suitable hero for them to pick up. And I'm going to guess that we'll see Black playing on Tiny. We'll see Carry Tiny secured up by the team of the good studio. Don't think we'll see Sing Sing playing on the Tiny and solo mid. I'm going to assume Sing Sing will still be on the Lanaya. Moscow 5, how will they respond? Tiny's going to be a very good pickup for Chen and Leshrac because he can pretty much insta-kill them. But the Tiny that we're going to see is going to be less about ganking and more about farming. Tiny could be argued to be one of the best carries in the game, honestly, but he needs a lot of items. He's similar to Silly Bear. He needs a good chunk of items in order to be effective, so his build is probably going to be different. Instead of going straight for that Blink Dagger, we're probably going to get Drums and then Aghanims. And maybe after that we'll get Blink Dagger. Even then we might just go straight for an Assault Cuirass and completely ignore the Blink Dagger full stop. We want to try and focus on the right-click damage. Moscow 5, 1 minute of reserve time. Captain Solo can take as long as he damn well pleases, and they should. It's a $15,000 for the top prize, I believe, not to mention a lot of prestige and honor to be associated with this tournament. And Bane is going to be the hero that they pick up. Ooh. Interesting. Do they have an appropriate amount of damage to complement it with? That's my current concern right now. Leshrac can deal a nice amount of damage, but if Bane has got someone Fiend's gripped, we need someone to right-click on them, and we don't really have that hero right now. Lone Druid can do that towards the later stages of the game, but not at the start.
10 seconds remaining.
While the good studio have... all of these heroes can do a lot of damage, and this I feel is a bit of a problem for the team of Moscow 5. They just seem a bit weak and a bit squishy. The only real powerhouse that we have that's very good at the beginning stages of the game is Leshrac. Split Earth and Edict are two very powerful abilities. But everyone else, you know, Chen's not going to be doing anything. Even with a creep, I don't think he's going to be doing all that much. Lone Druid will be doing absolutely nothing. We'll just have a bear that's hard to kill. And Bane, you can Nightmare someone. That's it. But on good studio, on the bear team rather, we've got Batrider who's got the sticky napalm, we've got Flame Break, which will be a bit of a nuisance, and then go with Keeper of the Light for their 5th hero. I'm liking the lineup coming out of the good studio. Will they be able to play it to their maximum effectiveness? Well, we of course will have to wait and see. As to how their lanes will unfold, part of me is thinking Keeper of the Light off lane, Lanaya solo mid, and then we'll have Batrider, Jakiro, and Tiny down towards that bottom lane. Keeper of the Light can easily solo that top lane, easy peasy, just pop Illuminate off at every single opportunity, but at the same time, maybe they want to have that extra mana to give to Jakiro, to give to Tiny, to sort of bolster their combat effectiveness. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how the good studio plans this out. On the Radiant side of the field, it wouldn't be a Dota tournament without a pause at the start. Nevertheless, on the Radiant side of the field, on the good bear team, we have Sing Sing to take up the role of the Lanaya. That's really difficult to say. It shouldn't be. Alex to play on the Keeper of the Light. We have Bambo playing on the Batrider. Black taking up the role of Tiny, and Kurikai to play on the Jakiro. On M5's side of the field, on the dire side of the map, we see Captain Solo playing on the Chen, following it up with Nexus to play on the Starladder, Sedoy playing as the Silly Bear, Stoliana playing on the Bane, and Dread to play on the Leshrac. So it's looking like a solo mid Bane. There's a bit of a problem with this though, considering, wait, is Stoliana's their solo mid player on M5, I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly. This could be problematic because the thing that you would do with Bane is you would get Brain Sap and a Soul Ring, then you'd Soul Ring and then you Brain Sap them. So you pretty much lose no mana or health. It's very, very easy, but Lanaya has Refraction. Refraction's going to stop that Brain Sap from doing absolutely anything. So, you know, it's not going to be all that effective. We're going to have to right-click down Lanaya several times before we can actually get that spell damage through. The resume has been had, the lanes are beginning to form, who will be playing where, and so on and so forth.
Prepare for battle.
Yep, Bane going solo mid. And we'll see Leshrac alongside Starladder. That's a nice combination. Split Earth into Crush or Crush into Split Earth. Either one will work out nicely. And of course, Silly Bear to take the solo off lane on the side of the good bears. We see Sing Sing going towards that solo middle lane. Jakiro is, I'm going to assume, is venturing down bottom. Lanaya, Jakiro, currently is just warding actually. That explains that. Tiny alongside Keeper of the Light down bottom. Looks like we might be seeing Batrider solo top. This makes a bit more sense. Keeper of the Light can no doubt work in a solo lane. I mean, he can solo a lane easy peasy because of Illuminate, but his ability to give other heroes mana is just ridiculously good. You'd be silly to waste that. You'd be silly to not stick with someone who can deal out a lot of damage at the expense of a lot of mana, such as Tiny, and use that mana-giving ability in order to let him do as much damage as he wants to do. M5 going on a bit of adventure towards their jungle, however they're not going to find anyone here. Instead they're heading slowly towards their respective lanes. Batskater keeping an eye on this top rune, wants to hopefully secure it for himself. If it does spawn at that top, we can see Solo slowly creeping in. Starladder to join him, they really want that rune, however it spawns down towards the bottom lane, it will be picked up by Sedoy. Or maybe it won't be. We'll just leave the regeneration rune. No, Sedoy is going to clean that up. No, he's not. He's just going to leave it there. Okay. Alex sees it. Yep, it's a regeneration rune down towards that bottom lane. Bambo is... I have no idea what exactly he's up to as of this moment. The bear pulling the creep wave as it does, sustaining a few right clicks. Alex going to join the fray. They're not going to be able to take down this bear, especially with the stout shield. Taking him down would just not be a possibility at all. I'm still unsure as... do we have a jungling Batrider? I think we have a jungling Batrider. In fact, we're deserting our top lane and going for jungling. This is definitely not what I would have expected. We'll have to wait and see how it works out for Bambo. You can definitely jungle fairly efficiently because of that flame walk, but you're going to sustain a good amount of damage as well. Actually, you can jungle very efficiently because look at the path that they're going to take. They're going to go straight back up. And I heard a brain sap go down. It got absorbed by the refraction. Actually, it wasn't Enfeeble. Enfeeble's actually kind of smart, actually, because it's going to make last hitting a little bit difficult. Even with the refraction charges. Unless the refraction charges aren't affected by Enfeeble, then last hitting is still a possibility. Right now, it's percentage based, isn't it? No, it isn't. They changed that. Tiny attempting to farm it up towards his bottom lane. Lone Druid being a bit of a nuisance as he does. An interesting thing to try and do. And if we look at the last hit, it does seem to be inhibiting his ability to last hit just a little bit. He's currently a bit behind. Chen currently has more than him, which is not something you see every day.
Temple.
They can pull this lane all that they want because no one's at this top lane. Bambo is jungling, and he seems to be doing a reasonable job at it. He's stacking the cats, using the Firefly to burn it down easy peasy. Well, he's still level 1 currently, but he's not dead. Nightmare to go down and let Templar Assassin. We're going to do a bit of damage, but we'll simply walk away. The problem with it is you can't last hit when you're Nightmared up. It's a bit of a nuisance. Bane, bottle in hand, going to be walking our way towards our haste rune, fill up the bottle, deal a little bit more harassment. Sing Sing currently sitting on 7-4 on the creep score. And this bear is still being an absolute bastard. pulling the lane away, causing some problems, denying farm from making farming for Tiny just a little bit more difficult. But I have no doubt that Black can handle last hitting under the tower. He did it before. In fact, there was a game where he was last hitting under the tower constantly. He did fine. He got all the free farm in the world. Looking at Lanaia's damage, with that enfeeble on it gets brought down to half, but the 40 plus refraction damage sort of counters it, but it is only for 4 hits, or 5 hits. A little bit of dead air to go down. Currently bottle crowing. Doesn't seem like the most effective thing, to be honest, but we do have a nice amount of stacking coming out from this camp. Once a Firefly goes down, it should be fairly easy peasy. It should be a nice chunk of golden experience. For that of Bamboo, of course. So Ilyana currently sitting on 8 for 5. Sing Sing going 12 for 6. It's a little bit less than it normally is, but it's not as bad. But this Nightmare is definitely going to be an absolute nuisance. Can't last hit when you're Nightmare, as I said a few moments ago, but Sing Sing moving straight in on Styliana, taking a nice chunk of damage. Meanwhile, First Blood has happened down towards his bottom lane. Tiny has gotten a little gank. Yes, Tiny. Gotten a little gank on the lone druid, who ventured on his own and got bursted down by that avalanche toss combination. First Blood secured by the good studio. By the good bear team. GB, I'll call them. Styliana's trying to be a bit of a nuisance to Sing Sing, but Sing Sing is still getting those last hits. Easy peasy. We see Jakira stacking this camp up. Building up those napalm charges as we continue to sack the camp. In goes a Firefly, in goes the sticky napalm charges. Bamboo takes a lot of damage from this. In fact, he's still taking damage because of the range creeps. Has to be a little bit cautious. Bane moving in towards Sing Sing, dealing a couple of right clicks where right clicks can be dealt, and is also controlling the runes very well. The last couple of runes have been taken up by Styliana. Nightmare to go down, denying creeps are being had. What a nuisance. Meanwhile, this top tower is being pushed towards. The team of M5 realize, hey, there's no one here. Let's go kill an easy tower. Fortification goes down as the Edict is popped. It's only going to delay the inevitable, however. Unless reinforcements roll in, this tower will take fall. The Ursu Warrior is here to join the fray. Edict is melting through it. It's going to intercept the next creep wave, which will make life even easier. But they're returning to favor. Bottom tower sustaining a little bit of damage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
First tower secured by the team of M5 towards the bottom lane, and they have no reason to stop pushing. They can continue to push ahead. Kill off those towers dead. Towards this middle lane, 19 for 9 on Lanaya, currently sitting at 15 to 8 on the Bane. It's really not having the effect that I'm sure the team of M5 intended. In fact, Bane is now beginning to lose a lane fairly hard now that the Enfeeble's not really doing all that much, since it's still at level 1. Bamboo currently sitting at level 4. This camp still hasn't quite been taken down just yet. Seems he was just here for a little short while to defend, and now he's going to go back to his somewhat odd jungling. Jakira wanting to join this middle lane. The trap has gone down on Styliana. The right click's being dealt. There goes the Ice Pass. Styliana is in bad trouble, but the Brain Sap goes down. It's going to hold him back just a little bit alongside the Nightmare. Currently in tower range, Styliana will escape easy peasy. And Sing Sing takes a couple of hits from the tower, but nothing more than that. He'll be fine.
Thanks.
Clarity Potion come down on him. Tiny trying to deal a little bit of damage to the tier 1 as he moves in on Sodoi. And Sodoi has to be cautious. The Avalanche Toss combination means that it's a dead squishy hero. Bamboo building out those napalm charges. The Flame Break's going to be fairly spectacular with those 5 stacks on them.
Middle tower is under
It just
attack.
keeps a building. Keep them all in the Flame Break for the entire duration. Or rather, the Firefly. Sing Sing thinking of coming in from behind, but Chen has come in to reinforce, which will make life a little bit more difficult. The Centaur Khan has been picked up, as well as a sentry ward in order to stop any form of melding action going down in an attempt to escape. Even though they have a Centaur there and could just stun. But this was probably premature. They put it there earlier, I mean. Sodoi doing a bit of jungling. Meanwhile, moving in, Ice Path come down and Bane, but the Brain Sap's going to heal him back where he needs to be. Sing Sing caught up in the sleep. He could find himself in some trouble, but solo attack. Centaur brings it back off him. Don't know what Solo was thinking just then. Now that Centaur Khan is inoperative for the next few moments. Trap to come down Styliana once again. There goes the Ice Path. The right click's being dealt. Styliana's getting awfully low in HP. Sing Sing backed off after getting hit by a Brain Sap. He will get set back to base, and the Flame Break will send them back as well. Or push them back, rather. Trap to go low down on Dread. But no further damage to follow it up on that. Chen being very useful indeed. Even though he had about half HP, so he was for the most part fine. Meanwhile, Starladder's getting, for the most part, free farm towards his top lane. No one to contest it. Currently sitting on 46 last hits. But Black down the bottom is also getting free farm. Currently sitting at 48 last hits. And I tell you what, Tiny is a little bit better than Starladder late game, I would say. I wouldn't call Starladder a particularly great hard carry. I would call Tiny a pretty sick hard carry. He can out-carry Morphling before the nerfs, as we've seen in the International too. And can out-carry Luna before the nerf. I mean, she wasn't nerfed. What am I talking about? Tiny, good hero. Black just sort of asserting his dominance onto Chen, saying, if you get near me, I'm gonna kill ya. In about 2 seconds with, you know, avalanche toss. And Chen doesn't have Hand of God, doesn't have a mechanism. He won't be bringing back any of his HP after he takes some damage from that. Amplify damage landing down on Batrider. Starladder is going to know exactly where he is for the next... Oh, it just wore off. Meanwhile, Kurukai and Sing, they're venturing about just a little bit. First rune of the game, I believe, secured up by Sing. Sing finally gets the pleasure of a rune taken up by him. And now that Starladder is sort of in a bad state, Dread is always nearby, because if Starladder gets left on his own, they're just going to kill him. In fact, Lanaya could just solo kill him most likely. But he is sitting on that level 6 of Fiend Grips. Fiend's Grip means that the good studio also have to be very cautious, because get a Fiend's Grip, someone gets caught out, you Fiend's Grip them, they could die very, very rapidly with just a little bit of assistance from the opposing team. Honestly, I was expecting this game to be a little bit more one-sided towards the early stages of the game, but it hasn't been. I was wrong on that account. And now we'll have to wait and see exactly how the game unfolds. Dread staying back. Chen is not too far away either, alongside Starladder in the jungle. Jungling together, it seems. And a team of Mousesports are pushing out this top lane, getting some easy last hits, pushing the lane back, maybe even get a little bit of vengeance for their tier 1 tower, which did take a fall towards the earlier stage of the game. Tiny, however, is free farming it up just all day, every day, down towards his bottom lane. Black is going to be an absolute wrecking force towards the later stages of the game if this doesn't get stopped. TP's being had, deaths are also being had. Keeper of the Light taking a fall down towards this middle lane, middle to bottom lane. Gotta pay attention to that mini-map, man. Fiend Grip not being used for that. Trap to go down to Starladder. Starladder has pulled himself a little bit further than he should, however, he has a sleep available. He's going to continue to push forward. Nope, Sing just asserting his dominance just a little bit. Meanwhile, nice avalanche to go down. Solo taking a big chunk of damage, but been forced to back off. Nexus is charging in, doesn't want to get hit by a crush, and no crush will be had. Tiny's just that little bit too fast with the use of the phase boots that he has available. TPs are rolling in on both accounts. They're looking to save this top lane. I mean, this bottom lane. Illuminate to fly through, rigging the creep wave a nice amount. Toss avalanche to go down. Creep wave gets destroyed. Currently chasing in after Black. A nice amount of speed coming out of Nexus, but the trap slows him down. Meanwhile, Fiend's Grip to come down in Bamboo. Bamboo's looking very dead. Another kill taken up by the team of M5. Currently 2-1. Alex is being caught out just a little bit. Brains have to go down on him. The trap to follow it up. Going to slow them down, prevent pursuance. And now we're closing in on them. A nice split earth to come from Dread. Black being caught out. Lightning Storm to fly through. A bit of damage to be caused. And Lanaya being forced into sleep. Going to send her out of the fray for just the next couple of moments. And this will give the team of M5 time to back off and get to safety. But the good studio don't look done with this. There goes the avalanche. Nexus is awfully low. The toss comes through. If only that Illuminate had hit, then that Starladder would be very, very dead. Suddenly there. Just there. There. Starladder will not be able to hold it out against the might of Tiny. As a matter of fact, Tiny could very easily kill Starladder, but Tiny has to be cautious. If there's one member nearby, all it takes is a Fiend's Grip and a few right clicks, and Tiny will take a falling at a fairly rapid rate. But both sides have to be fairly careful here. And you know what's great about Keeper of the Light and Tiny combinations? You don't need mana boots. Meanwhile, Starladder found himself in a really bad situation. He does back off before Tiny can cause any damage, however. Bamboo going on a little bit of a venture once again. No one being caught out, however. Lone Druid continuing his jungling action. Kurukai also going on a little bit of a venture. Looking to be getting some tranquils. Trap to go down. Solo being caught out. No further follow-up damage. The Wildkins are moving in. The Tornadoes are about to start being an absolute nuisance. Meanwhile, Bamboo is caught in a really bad situation. I don't know what he was doing here. Bamboo needs to run. He needs to run fast. Fiend's Grip is available, but they elect to not use it, and Bamboo gets away fairly easily.
Dire's bottom tower.
M5 not really capitalizing on the advantages they could have just possibly had. Meanwhile, Starladder is pushing out this top lane. A nice big creep wave follows, and if reinforcements don't roll in, this tower's going to take a reasonable chunk of damage. It won't get taken down. We'll need more than just the Starladder. But it's still going to cause some problems for the good studio if they don't provide some reinforcements here. Starladder, however, hasn't been free farming as hard as he was towards the early stages of the game. His creep score hasn't increased that much in comparison to how much Tiny's has increased. Ice Path to go down, Dread being caught out. No further follow-up damage, however. It's too close to the tower and there are too many members of M5 here. Sticky Napalm just building it up where it can be built. Meanwhile, Starladder is free farming right now and he's pushing this top lane, dealing a bit of damage, but Tiny is also free farming. In fact, Tiny thinking of moving in on Chen. Chen has Hand of God, so he doesn't really need to be in the fight in order to be effective. But it's looking like this tower might go down. There goes a Flame Break, pushing Starladder back. They've caught him off. There goes the Ice Path, even in bad situation, gets him suit up, and that is the death of Starladder. Meanwhile, Starladder TP's in. A fantastic crush to come out of him. The tower damage is taking a lot of toil under Kurukai. The stick charges to go down might be enough to save his life, but the Ice Path go down and he does get taken down. Lone Druid Bear gets a kill on him, easy peasy. Sing Sing currently running for his life. TP's being had. Batrider has escaped. Looked like a fairly good engagement coming out for the good studio, but M5 turned it around, but they still took casualties. Hand of God was used. I didn't even notice. I don't know how I couldn't have heard it or seen the effect. Maybe I'm just bad and blind. No escape coming in from Sing Sing. They know his positioning while this amplified damage sits atop of his head. And it's going to run out right when the double damage runs out, so he's not going to be able to utilize it for any surprise attack. Alex, Bambo, and Sing Sing unifying towards this middle lane. They want to try and take down the tier 1 that sits itself here. And Dread is the sole defender, but more coming in from the sidelines. They're smoked up. This could be very bad for Mouseport. A Flame Break to go down. They're checking for Roshan. There goes a Fiend's Rate coming down on Bambo. The right clicks are also being dealt. This is the death of Bambo. Easy peasy. There goes a Crush to deliver the final blow. The rest of GD back off before any further damage is sustained, and the tower still stands. They did pop an ulti for him, but trading an ulti for a kill, yeah, it's a good trade. Maybe if the tower was taken down, it'd be a reasonable trade, but alas, it's not the case. Double Tornado to fly through. This is going to be a nuisance, but not as much of a nuisance as that annoying as hell Illuminate to come out of the Coddle. Black currently sitting on 100 last hits, 15 minutes into the game. Is looking good, is looking strong. He's free farming it up very, very nicely indeed. Lone Druid going straight for a pipe. Wants that magical resistance on his hand. On his head, or wherever you put the... Oh, I get it is a hood. It will go on your head, needless to say. Illuminate to fly through. Alex just being a nuisance with this Keeper of the Light, and that is how you play Keeper of the Light, by being a nuisance. Ice Path to go through. Starladder caught off, but Chen is nearby. No further follow-up damage. He even has an Ogre Magi available for him. Dual Breath to come down to Starladder, but the sleep comes down on Kurukai. We're moving in. Flame Break to send him back, but his HP has been brought straight back to full because of the Brain Sap, and Chen sends him back to base. It's a bit of a counter to the Flame Break. I mean, the lasso, isn't it, to come out of the Batrider. You can just send them straight back to base, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you kill off the Chen. Or the Chen isn't nearby. Trap to go down. We're currently moving in on Starladder. The Flame Breath goes down. A bit of damage being sustained. The sleep to land in on Sing Sing. Being taken off by Kurukai. Being taken off by Sing Sing. I think they're going to let it run out now. Would seem like the wiser endeavor. Fiend's Rip is about to come off cooldown for the Bane. It's going to be a nice potential engagement for the team of M5. But Lasso will also be... Actually, Lasso is on a 50-second cooldown, so it will be a while before we see any more Lasso action coming down. Dread taking a bit of damage. Trap to land down on Starladder. Black Kingdom moving in, then deciding, no, I will not. He'll tank up the tower instead. Switching the aggro, and then now we're battering down the tower. And this will be a Mousesport's first tower of the game. However, Starladder is continuing to pressure this tier 2, and it will get taken down. Looks like the team of GD want to go for a trade. Black moving in the offensive, wants to try and catch off Starladder, but he does get sleeped up. But Sing Sing blinks in, the right click's being dealt. The Brain Sap to bring him back, and the Sick Charge to bring back where he needs to be, but it doesn't matter in the slightest. He still gets taken down. Meanwhile, Chen, the stun to come down, and Batrider to come from the Centaurs, being a bit of a nuisance. But in comes Starladder, right click coming down on Alex. Nexus can't decide what he wants to do. Does he want to stay? Does he want to fight? He's not entirely sure. Gonna continue to push forward. Illuminate to fly through, and neither side sustaining any further casualties just yet. Fantastic Ice Path to come down. Nexus very fast because of that sprint, and now we're moving in on him. A lot of damage should be sustained. Toss Avalanche combo to go down. Nexus being right-clicked down, and he gets taken down very rapidly. Lasso even being used to dedicated to that kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And this will be a tier 2 tower for the team of Good Bears. Damn it. The Good Bears team. I almost called them Mouse Sports.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Tier 1, Tier 2 quickly sustained by them, and Black's going straight for that Aghanim Scepter.
Radiant's bottom
As well as
tower
Yasha
is
for a
under
bit of extra
attack.
movement speed. Does that give movement speed? Or did I just make an ass of myself? Yeah, it gives movement speed. Phew. Smoked up.
Radiant's bottom tower
We're not going
is
to find
under
anyone,
attack.
however. Not entirely sure as to why they smoked up. They just, maybe just in case they were venturing about a bit, but they should be able to see that M5 is, for the most part, clustered around this middle lane, fighting off the creep wave that was recently pushed forward. Looks like we want to sneakily transition down towards the bottom lane. That is what they are aiming for. They want to try and secure the Tier 1 and Tier 2s here. We'll come into the trade. M5 have unified towards this middle lane, and they're looking to take the Tier 1 tower that presents itself right here. But who can kill the towers faster? Well, Mouse Sports are already in position, and this tower will already fall, so they could take this down and then TP out, or maybe go for a Tier 2 tower in exchange for just a Tier 1. Fortification not available. The fortification for the team of M5 is also not available. And looks like they're a little bit indecisive. This tower's taking a lot of damage. The Edict roll through. The Bears causing some problems as well. There goes a Frostmoth who are TPing inland straight on a split earth. And the team of M5 back off, but the trap has come down. Dread being caught down is going to send Dread back to base. So even if we manage to damage him down, it won't matter in the slightest. But Solo, however, has no such luxury, and he will get taken down. The Good Studio claim themselves a single kill and will push down this creep wave as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This top down Solo Starladder's trying to get the last hit. Will the deny happen? No, it will not.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Nexus sprints way easy peasy. Black looking to join the fray. Will he catch up? The answer is no. Starladder's just that little bit too fast. Just in case he's going down that route, but alas he is not. Bambo really wants to try and catch out Starladder, but Starladder's just that little bit too fast. He has, of course, that sprint ability, which will let you get away fairly easily. Also working his way straight for a BKB for that magical immunity, of course. Pipe in hand for the Lone Druid. Looking over at Dread, we can see pretty much nothing on him, but that is the life of a support. Shen has himself a mechanism. And who are we missing? Bane just has some mana booties. On the side of Tiny, looking to be going towards that Aghanim Scepter. Nice cleave damage on Alex. We've just got a mechanism. Meanwhile, Sleep to go down on Black, being taken off by Kurokai. They want to try and pressure this tower. Sing Sing blinks straight in. We're moving in on Sulana. The Brain Sap's going to heal him up just a little bit, but it's not enough. As Sulana takes a fall, but other members of M5 have moved in. Sing Sing could now be in a bad situation. And Nexus coming in from the sidelines trying to intercept Bambo, also awfully low in HP. There goes the amplified damage, and it looks like he will be the sacrificial lamb. But with the Flame Break, I mean the Firefly, he's a little bit more difficult to try and take down, and he does successfully escape. Even with the amplified damage revealing his exact location, still manages to get away. Couple of illusions here doing absolutely nothing. They'll probably start doing something soon. Maybe Nexus will see him and panic. Then again, I don't think Starladder is all too worried about a single Lanaya. Not just yet, at least. Trying to weaken down this bear just a little bit. The illusions will wear off fairly soon. This middle lane has a little bit of momentum, but the team of GD will simply clear this up. Batrider has a Blink Dagger. Let's go back to looking at the items. And going for a Force Staff coming in on the Jakiro. This will be useful on several accounts. We can Force Staff Batrider further away when he lassos someone, and we can use it to help ourselves or other teammates escape. Who haven't I covered? Lanaya, who has a nice little double damage rune. Blink Dagger, 2100 in the bank. Might be going straight for a Desolator. We'll have to wait and see. Dread charging in on the offensive. We're pushing out this middle lane. There goes the Lightning Storm. Pull off the creep wave very easy. The Illuminate's going to not fly through just yet. Sing Sing blinking in. The trap can land down on Solana. There goes the lasso. And Bambo is dragging him back. Solana's dead. Hand God goes down. Doesn't matter in the slightest. But Sing Sing is being right-clicked. The BKB coming down by Nexus. Sing Sing takes a fall. And now we're moving in on Bambo. Bambo's the next member to fall. The Flame Break to go down. Doesn't affect Nexus in the slightest. But Dread is low in HP and does get taken down. fairly even exchange of affairs. Sing Sing buys back, wants to try and deal some further damage. Black currently on the run. Black currently turns around. Nexus has to stop moving because of the mana break. There goes a fantastic Ice Path coming down. Nexus taking a lot of damage, so is Sidoi. But there goes a Pipe, going to absorb a bit of damage, but Nexus gets a nice crush off. The mech charge to go down. Will he get away? The toss goes down and does get the kill, and even if it didn't, Kurukai was there and would have been able to right-click him a couple more times. We're continuing to push forward to put down a trap, but are we really going to dive the tower for this? Kurukai, that's an unwise idea. If you got entangled there, you would be a very unhappy twin-headed dragon. Quick Wave immediately gets wiped down, Sing Sing being thrown all over the place like a ragdoll. Sylviana is the only one here to defend, and him alone can only just pull the Quick Wave away, and that is that. The team of the Good Bears are happy with what they've accomplished in the past couple of moments. They're TPing out, they're going to rotate, do some other stuff, defend this, defend that. This tower might actually get taken down if no one TPs in. Black is slowly moving in, but he's not exactly fast unless the phase boots are active. And this tower might get taken down, but it's being brought into deny range. So if Black can clean this up fairly rapidly, he needs to kill off the siege creep, however. There we go. Easy deny coming out of Tiny.
Has been denied.
No gold for the team of M5 to come out of that bottom tower for the rest of the game. M5 are thinking of Rashawn, quite possibly. The smoke has gone up. They want to try and sneak their way in there. Tornado is going to fly through to provide a bit of extra vision, but the team of Mouse Sports are all too aware of it. They're also centered around this pit, but they don't know that M5 just ventured in here because they smoked their way in. And the team of the Good Bears are completely oblivious to what M5 are doing right now. Will they get a little bit suspicious? Bambo could pop in a Flame Break. In fact, Bambo is going to do exactly that. There goes a Flame Break, and half of them get pushed away. In fact, oh, no, the Aegis still gets picked up. We've caught ourselves a Dread, and then we've caught ourselves a Dead Dread. Mech goes off, and Hand of God is just that little bit too late. The Latrak takes a fall. Flame Break to go down. Actually, a negative Flame Break pushes them back to BPB to come off of Nexus. No Ice Path are going to affect him. And he's going to use that to back off, not going to continue to deliver further up damage. However, Sidoi's been caught out, 3 stacks of the sticky napalm, the trap as well. But he gets sent back to base by Chen, but Chen will pay for it, absolutely. And now we're moving on Starladder. Starladder gets tossed back, the right click's being dealt down, the mech charge come out for the team of Mouse Sports, and Nexus is dead. It's just going to take a few more right clicks, and now we're going to kill him with the Aegis. He's dead, and now he's double dead. Right click's being dealt down, he's currently perma-stunned, and a negative urn charge to say the least, and then suddenly Keeper of the Light takes the final blow with that Illuminate, the thieving bastard. And from here on out, we can transition this into a tier 3. Might even be able to take a barracks, I'd say it's unlikely, and M5 is brought back, and this is now signal for Mouse Sports to leave. Nice little dodge of the Latrak stun there, however, Bambo is still sleeped up, and now he isn't. Now they're going to back off, or are they going to continue to fight? Nope, they're forced to buy back, and Mouse Sports are thinking, well, we just killed them and then they bought back. Let's just leave and take a moment to breathe. No need to continue to get ahead when you're already really far ahead. You don't want to take unnecessary risks. The team Mouse Sports, in true Mouse Sports style, or rather true Bear style, they want to continue on with the aggression. They are a team of absolute aggression. Black also has his Aghanim Scepter. The name eluded me just for a couple of seconds. Solo risking it just a little bit, really wants those creeps. And he will get himself a double centaur, or maybe he'll walk away. No, he's waiting for the rest of the team to come in, just in case he's a little bit cautious of being here. Black is going to absolutely wipe out this creep wave. Avalanche toss, lots of last hits, and Black can simply back off. They're not going to be getting the gank on him, and even so, it would take a lot. He has a nice chunk of HP, 2k HP, a big chunk of armor. M5 pushing out this bottom lane. They want to try and take down the tier 2. Double centaurs to reinforce a wave. Black is the sole defender. Him alone will not be enough, but the TPs are rolling in. The damage, however, is being sustained. Fortification goes down, which I say was a little bit unwise because in comes the track with the Edict, which is going to melt through it once the fortification wears down. But they rolled in just in time. In fact, Bambo trying to catch someone else. Will he be able to get a lasso? There goes a Flame Break. Solo doesn't get sent back, actually. Bambo jumps straight in. He catches off Juliana. Juliana's looking dead, but so is Bambo. He's taking a lot of damage. Forced off away, but does successfully get taken down. BKB being popped off the Nexus once again, and Black's been caught off by the Fiend's Creep. Where the hell is Bane? I thought he just died. It seems... Meanwhile, Tiny takes the fall. Buyback being had. I really thought Bane died just then, but it seems he did not. Evidently. This Hand of God and mechanism is just far too strong. So we're going to try and TP out. The Ice Path will land down on Dread. Dread is looking dead. Dread is looking dead indeed. They do salvage some out of the situation, but remember, several buybacks were had. If we have a look at that buyback tab, let's see, Lanaya bought back previously. Slaughter bought back. Tiny bought back. Bat Rider bought back.
is under attack.
Several members brought back, and I think that buyback coming in from Starladder was previous, wasn't actually in this fight. So several buybacks were had to try and get those kills. So it's arguably a fairly even exchange of affairs on both accounts. Taking a quick gander at the goal, we are closing in on a 7.5k advantage for the team of the Good Bears, and a 7.5k advantage in the experience department once again for the team of the Good Bears. And Jakira is going for those defensive items. Got ourselves a Ghost Scepter to avoid those right clicks for at least a couple of seconds, and the Force Staff to get away from bad situations. Keeper of the Light also going for that Force Staff. It's just a great item, and imagine Bambo getting Force Staff twice when he pulls someone out. He's going to be a very long way away from the rest of the team. This I guarantee. M5 entering about, the illusions being sent in on the offensive just to provide a bit of scouting information. And the good studio of taking down this bottom lane, they're going straight for it. The smoke is being had, M5 are looking to get the superior positioning. Will they be able to find it is a question. And even with the superior positioning, will it be enough? The team of Mousesports are looking awfully strong. They have more farm, they've got more gold, they've got more everything. They're coming in from the behind. Creep Wave just walking past oh so innocently. But meanwhile, we've brought out a Chen. I mean, we've brought out a Nexus. Nexus is dead, and that is a hero they really needed, but they're going to catch them out. Alex immediately gets burst down, but the damage is being dealt in return by Mousesports. Dreader's being right-clicked down, Bambo taking no damage at all, and Sadoi, Hand of God to go down, Solo in the next member to be dealt by the right-clicks, but Black is getting awfully low. Nice avalanche to come down, Bane instantly takes a fall, and so does Solo. 3 members melt, Sadoi trying to TP out, the right-clicks being dealt, and there goes a flame break. This is a death of Sadoi, and GG well played being called already by the team of M5. They know that they cannot win from here on out. GG, go next, they say. Mousesports have secured, or rather the Good Bears have secured victory in game number 1 of this best of 2 in the Star Series 3 LAN finals in Kiev of the Ukraine. And in a few moments time the Ancient will fall, and we'll move on to the next game. In a few moments time. Eventually.
Radiant's middle tower has
Yes,
fallen.
thank you, announcer. Waiting for the Ancient to fall.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, for God's sake, maybe I'll do a little bit of editing magic if it really does take this long.
Radiant's
Funnily
top
enough,
tower
Mousesports' base is being bombarded at this moment. I'm pretty sure due to the fact that M5 is still here that the Ancient is actually not going to fall. So this game could actually go for ages when it shouldn't. I hope not. I like to end on the score screen though. So let's just skip ahead just a little bit.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh my god, it actually has gone.
Dire's bottom tower is under
this
attack.
is really annoying.
Radiant's
Oh my god. Oh my god. Damn it. Okay, this has... You piece of shit. This has been a good team versus Moscow 5. They won. Watch next game. Name's Toshley. See you next time. Fucking hell.